The church has a long tradition of teaching from beauty. Beauty doesn't just mean the arts, but that might be the most obvious example of this, right? You look throughout the centuries of the beautiful Christian art that has been created. Art was the primary catechism before people could read in large scale and before we could mass produce physical books that those people could then read. The primary place that you would see the teachings of the faith enfleshed is in the stained glass windows and the murals and the statues, right? So the church has a long tradition of using beauty. We've also got music, right? We've got all these beautiful masses and operas and things along those lines where we utilize music. You think in the modern world today of the Christian pop music that gets words of scripture into your head and into your heart, right? The more beautiful the song is, the more catchy it is, the more moving it is, right? The easier it is to remember the content of the song. So the church has always used beauty, similar to truth, right? Beauty is one of these transcendentals. It draws the heart. Probably beauty more than truth and goodness kind of stops you in your tracks. It makes you take stock. You're confronted by it, so you have to take stock of how do I feel about this thing that I've just seen or just experienced. Beauty makes us evangelists, right? We want to go out and share it. You see this on Instagram all the time. People don't put it in this term, but you could say it this way. I just had a beautiful meal at this restaurant. You all should go there too. I just saw this beautiful movie, a thing that I enjoyed. Maybe it's not objectively beautiful, right? You all should go see it too. Beauty makes us evangelists. It forces us out to share, to go share the good news of whatever the thing is that we experience, whether it's food, a movie, whatever. We go out and share that with people. Wouldn't it be great if we did that in the faith as well, right? That's what catechesis calls us to. We want to catechize with beauty because beauty inspires people. In fact, Bishop Robert Barron says that beauty is the key way to initiate postmodern man into contact with the divine because it gets past all the intellectual hangups and all this sort of stuff. So we want to utilize beauty in some way, some form or fashion, our catechesis. That could be beautiful art, music, literature, video. They're effective ways of engaging religious imagination. Perhaps you don't usually think of imagination as playing an important role in catechesis, but imagination is a key way for a person to apply a teaching to their own life, right? Imagine part of this would could be an Ignatian sort of thing, right? Imagine what it would have been like to be in this story when Jesus did this thing, healed this person, taught this thing, confronted the Pharisees in this way. So it could be imagining yourself in the scenario, but there's also a dimension of imagine what the world would be like if what we're teaching is true. It is true, right? But for many of our students, they don't live in a world in which the doctrine is true. So we want to invite them into, well, just imagine what it might look like if this were true in your life. How might your life have to change, right? Because we catechize for conversion, for change. So imagination, religious imagination, is a way to help them engage in that, and beautiful things help them do that. Similarly, non-beautiful things, right? Ugly art, poorly produced videos, cheesy music, right? These sorts of things are counterproductive because they kind of give the impression, well, this thing isn't beautiful, and so maybe the message that I'm trying to convey with it also isn't beautiful or true or good. And so we want to try to lean into beautiful things to help us teach the beautiful thing that is the faith.